Last week, I can't believe it's been 1 week already, but last week I was in Seattle for my Buddhist training, and it took place in a temple. It was in a completely monastic kind of an environment, and when I was about to embark on this trip to Seattle, I was thinking, I think if I spend a lot of time online, right? I spend a lot of time on my cell phone, so I think maybe it'll be a little bit hard to not have access to a cell phone, and you make these YouTube videos every day, so I thought I would really miss the internet and such. But you know what? As I was there, completely forgot about it. And they took the cell phones on the first day, and then on the last day they gave it back to us, and I was like, wow, I kind of forgot that I had a cell phone. And also, my cell phone had never spent that much time off ever since came into my possession. So it even had trouble finding the provider for the network. But anyway, why I'm talking about this is many of you have habits that you want to change, right? And one of those habits changes is like introducing a new habit. And introducing a new habit is, you know what? It's hard, but it's on the easier side. Because all you have to do is just do it, right? Because you're trying to go from a state of not doing into doing it. And so you have all these thoughts about why it's so difficult to do it, but those thoughts are only valid in the context of not actually doing it. Once you get to doing the activity, once you get to doing the habit that you want to build, you're gonna have new thoughts. So it's kind of like, I don't want to, but then you know what? There's no other way to build a habit, right? So you kind of have to do it. So it's easy, like that. Easier in contrast to what? Stopping. Now, stopping a habit theoretically is easier because all you have to do is not do anything, right? So quitting smoking theoretically is easy because all you have to do is nothing, right? Because smoking a cigarette involves going to the grocery store, asking for a pack of cigarettes, and then picking out your brand, getting a match or a lighter, unpacking it, and then tossing it, and then getting the wrapper on, putting one out, and then lighting it up, and then like waiting outside, smoking it, and then there's a lot of steps, right? Taking care of the ash and such. So all those extra steps and money is saved by just not doing anything. But the impulse and the automatic habits and the cravings, right? They make not doing extremely challenging. And this isn't just limited to smoking. Drinking also suffers from the same difficulty, and scrolling, pornography addiction. These are all things that we want to stop, but it's difficult to stop. So we need a way to tackle it, and like if you've been watching my videos for a while, the easiest way is to do 108 bows, right? So every time you have the craving, you substitute it with another activity, right? So you reroute the neural programming that way. So that is one way to kind of brute force it. And meditation, again, is an excellent way of developing that kind of stillness of letting the craving exist but not doing anything about it. But now, after my temple experience, what I kind of thought was important is kind of reshuffling your life. Because when you smoke, you have room to smoke in your life because of the way your life's routine is prepared. So if you stay on the same schedule as your smoking days and you're trying to quit, you have so many reminders of when you used to smoke. So when you try to keep the same schedule as you were drinking and you're trying to quit, you have all these things that remind you of drinking because your body is used to the groove. So if you are trying to quit something, a good way to start is by kind of re-architecting your life based on not having this habit, right? So if you have a habit of scrolling, then guess what? Your day-to-day, activities list or itinerary, more or less, will require this. So I had this problem around a few months in after my morning prayers. I noticed that I wake up at 5 a.m., right? And then on the toilet, I start looking at the phone. And then I'm done peeing, but then I keep scrolling and scrolling. I check my email and blah, blah, blah. And then I come to the room where I usually pray. And then again, I'm just sitting down and I'm just kind of like waiting for my eyes to not dry up. And then I'm waiting for my knees to kind of warm up. And guess what? I spend like 15 minutes not doing anything, but just scrolling. But yeah, my eyes are dry. Yeah, my knees hurt. But after about 30 bows, those don't become a problem anymore. And I can just take 30 bows really slow, right? So what I started doing was I started sleeping without my phone. So I have this band, right? It wakes me up on the wrist. So I do that. And I finish my morning prayers first. And then I take my cell phone as I go out to walk my dogs because it's dark outside these days around 5:30 a.m. in California. So I use this as a flashlight because my dogs poop outside. So just like this, little changes in how your life is lived, in terms of like spatial, in terms of like habits, in terms of like routines, those changes are likely to make a stopping habit kind of persist a little bit better than keeping in your entire life exactly the same and trying to just remove one variable from it. So, of course, all my usual advice about habit changes, apply, as in you have a reason for it. So if you find the internal reason for it and try to address that, those things still apply. But I'm saying, if you change your routine, it can really, really help as well.